Hey, this is Terry at Fireplace Blowers Online. We're going to do another video today, and we're changing things around. We're out of the shop environment. We're in a customer's condo. He's got a Monessen Fireplace, model BDV400. And one of the installations we haven't done yet is for the BLOT installation. We get a lot of questions on the BLOT, and we're going to try to answer those questions with an installation video. One of the things you're going to notice in the video, it's going to be hard to tape because we're not using an empty insert. We've got an actual working fireplace, so you're going to see what you're going to have to deal with installing the BLOT. But we want to go over the installation, what you're going to have to do, how to install the unit, and this is going to give you a better idea because we get a lot of questions on this installation. So first thing I want to show you is the BLOT blower and the way you're going to receive it in the box. Now I've got the box opened already, and we've changed our packaging around, and we're using a lot of foam padding in here, and this has saved a lot of warranty or products that are being returned. So as I start unpacking some of these, this is going to be a shield or an extension that goes on your air discharge opening. This is your high temp wire. And I need to remove some of these pads to get the blower itself out of the box. And as you're going to see, most of this BLOT blower kit is already assembled when you get this. Now, there's also a little bag with some additional hardware that we'll go over. So, first thing you're going to need to do is when you get the blower out of the box, you're going to see there's a couple wires that aren't connected. And in this is our high temp wire, and this is the temperature sensor. So we're going to end up cutting this during the installation, and we'll do that in a little while. And one end is going to attach to this white wire, and the other end is going to attach, and their slip-on terminals is going to attach to the motor. So these are the two connections you're going to need to make when installing the BLOT, is connect to the motor, and it doesn't matter which side you connect with. The other end is going to connect to the loose wire on the variable speed control. Now we're going to set this aside for a second, and we've got a couple other blowers setting up right now, and you're going to notice both of these are BLOT blowers. This is what we advertise as the large BLOT blower. This is the standard BLOT blower. This is 12.5 inches in overall length from motor to the end bearing, and this one is a roughly 14.5 inches from motor to the outboard bearing. And a number of questions we've received on this is, how do I put on, or do I need to use this extension for the air discharge? We've talked to a number of other dealers, installers. Many of them don't use the extension, but it's included in the kit. We want to show you how to put it on the kit, on the blower, should you decide to use it. So this is going to come loose, and you can see this is the way the blower is going to install in your fireplace. You've got two screw holes here, and you only use one screw on each side. So this one's screwed in, and you can see there's a little tab or a little part of the housing that's a little nub here. And the blower, this shield just rests on that, and it sets your angle. So you can see if this is straight up, the shield is tilted in a little bit. And I'm going to reverse this, and you're going to see we've got a screw in the other side. Both of those screws are included in the accessory package, the hardware package you receive with the kit. So again, you have to, well, there we go. There's a call for us right now. Somebody's probably got an installation question, but we're going to skip that. I'll call them back later. And again, we're going to show you, we're putting this in a Monessen BDV400 fireplace, and it only accepts the standard size BLOT kit. And we'll show you the restrictions once we get down in the fireplace. But if yours doesn't have that restriction and you want to go to the larger BLOT kit, that's a nice choice. This is a 160 CFM blower kit, and this one's going to be a 130 CFM blower kit. Now, this is the fireplace up in front, and we're going to have to take off the lower louver. We'll leave the top louver on for right now, but we're going to take off the lower vent, because this is where the blower is going to be installed in. And we've got a modesty or courtesy panel down here that's going to have to get removed as well. And eventually, if you've got this, this is where the variable speed control is going to mount. Down here, there's already a, oh, it's in this one right here. You can see the empty hole right here. And this is where our, the variable speed control knob is going to, the stem is going to come through, and you put the knob on here. Now we're going to stop this film till we can get this off and get the blower ready, and then we'll pick up in about 2 minutes. All right, people, we're back here again. We're going to be switching this thing over now. We're going to turn the installation over to Jason. I'm going to give you trying to keep on giving you the instructions as Jason goes through the installation process of the blower. And if Jason's name rings a bell, those of you who have sent emails about Find My Blower, or questions about your blower, Jason's one that researches it and sends you back the email. So the first thing we're going to do, and I think we took those panels off before, but we're going to take these the upper panel off, the upper louver and the lower louver, and Jason's removing those now. And then on this model, we've got a courtesy or a modesty panel that also has to come out, and so we're going to drop that down. And we found out that it's going to be easier. The first step in doing this is to lay in and connect our sensor with our high temp wire. So we're going to have to cut, we've got this cable tied together, so we're going to cut that cable tie off of there. And before we connect it to the motor or do anything, we're going to go up, connect the sensor, and we're going to show you what you're going to look for and where this is going to connect in the fireplace. So up on top, down on the right hand side, you're going to see a little clip. We're going to try to highlight that, and I've got a flashlight. Okay, so you can see the sensor, and we're going to try to get that over his arm. That sensor just goes in, slides in behind the sensor, and that holds it in place with the side of the fireplace. So we'll try to get in here and get a look. And on this particular model, this is where the clip is. The sensor's in place right there. And this is, now we're going to take the high temp wire and we're going to lower that and drop that all the way down to the bottom. And we'll pick it up underneath.
And another important thing to note too is that this clip, now this was pre-installed in my fireplace already, but it is included as part of the BLOT kit. So in case you don't have that clip. And what that essentially does is it prevents, at least tries to prevent, the high temp wire from sitting flush with the firebox, because the firebox does get very hot.
The wire is rated to be able to handle that heat, but a good suggestion is to go ahead and use that standoff to hold that wire so it's not resting on the insert if possible. So Jason's feeding the wire down through. You've got this air gap down here on the side, and he's just going to put it back in the clip, and that's holding the wire. Now we're going to go down below. We're going to get down here and find the wire. Okay, so our sensor's already installed, and we have to make 2 connections to the blower right now. So here's our high temp wire, and I'm just gonna hand him this so we can stay in the camera shot. So here's our blower. One end is gonna get connected to, and it doesn't matter which end is gonna connect, which is a slip-on terminal to the motor. Okay, and be careful when you do these because these are somewhat fragile. So get it on, make sure you center it. And now the other end is going to go to the end of the variable speed control, the white lead. And it's a male to female connection. Okay, our blower is now wired. And the next thing for Jason to do, and by the way, we are installing this one without the shield. We've done tests on this particular unit. We get more airflow without the additional having that air shield on there. So we're gonna install this one, and we are not gonna remove the backing for this video. You can see the Velcro strips. You would remove the backing to expose the adhesives on there. There's 4 of these that you have to do. So all 4 of these you would remove the backing on, and this really locks the blower up tight once it's in position. Now, Jason's gonna lay down on his stomach and try to get this in position. We're gonna try to get some light underneath here just to show you. And this is actually a fairly easy part, but I'm gonna let Jason tell you what you're gonna look for. And so you can see the back of the fireplace right now. We're trying to highlight it with some light.
So one thing that's specific to the BDV series Monessen fireplaces, I'm just going to slip this blower out of the way here just so I can point this out, is this rear panel. And this panel kind of acts as a false wall. In I would say 95% of all gas fireplace installations, the blower is actually going to go up against the rear wall. But on this particular fireplace, there's actually a lip. You can't see that this panel's hiding, and that's like a 1-inch lip. So this panel's there kind of meant for the blower to butt up against it. And you'll see here when I install the blower.
And Jason, before you install it, show them the restriction on why this one can only take the standard BLOT.
Sure, I'm glad you pointed that out. So it's tough to see from where the camera angle is, but you have these support braces. They're almost like fins, and you can kind of see there's a gap between this brace and how far this fin comes out. There's also another one on the left side, and those 2 fins prevent the larger BLOT blower in the case of this BDV400 from using the larger of the 2 BLOT blowers. So in this particular case, we're restricted to the smaller BLOT blower, which again is about 12.5 inches in length. And you'll see when I fit it up against that rear wall that it's going to nestle right in between those 2 support fins pretty nicely.
And we're not sure how well this is going to film out, everyone, but we wanted to give you a real installation in a real fireplace. And by no means our budget doesn't allow us to do any kind of professional videos, so we're just doing this on the fly, just so you can have an idea of what to do when you receive the blower. So Jason's got the blower in place.
And again, I'm not using the Velcro adhesives at this point strictly for the demonstration of installing the blower. But if I were to have detached those Velcro strips and mounted it permanently, this blower will stay very securely mounted to that rear wall.
But we want to go ahead and we're going to plug. Now we're going to go through. We're going to add the other things. Now, if you don't have this courtesy or modesty panel, you can just leave that variable speed control inside, laying on the bottom of the firebox. Jason, it comes with we've already put the knob on when you take it out of the box. So you're going to take that knob off. That just pulls straight off. And on this locking nut, we're looking for that channel lock. We're just using some tools we have here. You just have to use a wrench, in this case a channel lock, a couple turns, and that's going to be released. Okay, that's off. Now, on this particular fireplace, there's a opening to mount the variable speed control. And Jason's just tucking these items back in. And you can see right here that hole is where he's going to stick the stem through, and he's going to put the stems through.
Okay.
Locking nut. The locking nut has to go back on, and then you have to tighten it up, and it takes really only 1 or 2 turns to secure it into place. All right, and then you're going to put the knob on. It's a half moon shaft. It just fits over there. That's mounted. So we're going to actually plug the blower in, and we're going to tuck our wires back in, throw this courtesy panel back on, and we're going to light the fireplace, and we're going to give you actually a real time on how long it takes the unit to turn on with the temperature sensor in the position where it's at. We're not going to spend time trying to get all the wires really nice, but it's plugged in. Courtesy panel, modesty panel, whatever you want to call it, it's going to go back in place. And again, you guys can get your wires straightened out. But so we don't make this a 3-day video, we're just doing it. It's back on. Okay. That's done. We're going to go ahead and light the fireplace. And we're going to stop, but we're going to come back and we're timing this out on how long this takes. And we'll come back and let you know how soon the blower kicked on. So we're going to stop filming. We'll let you know the time-wise. All right, fireplace is lit. And it's probably going to be anywhere around 5 minutes with that sensor location before the blower will turn on. So we'll get back to you in 3 to 5 minutes. Hey, we're back. Our blower kicked on. It was approximately 5 minutes for that sensor to heat up to 120 degrees. That's what it's going to take for that sensor to turn the blower on. It's 120. So we've got the blower working. It's sitting on here. You can see now you can adjust your fan speed. You're going to get cranked up to full. So you can go from full all the way down to low. And that's what we're using that knob for. And if you wanted to manually override the blower and turn it off, Jason could do that now by going all the way clockwise. It clicks, the blower's going to turn itself off. So you can also override that sensor and turn the blower off manually should you desire. Another feature that we're showing, if you go up and look at our top louver, we're going to show you the airflow, because in these fireplaces, as you all know, if you didn't have a blower on, it's all radiant heat. Just a real quick example, you can see that we're creating airflow into the room, and that it's going to help get that warm air into the room and away from the fireplace. Also, we're going to turn you'll notice we're going to turn the fireplace off. You see the flames dying off in the fireplace. You're going to notice the blower is going to continue to run, and it's going to do so until that sensor cools down to 90 degrees and the blower will shut off. So the blower goes on when that sensor reaches 120. The blower is going to turn off when the fireplace is turned off, and that cools down to 90 degrees. So we're hoping that this video turns out okay once we post it online on our website. We want to give everybody show them the best we could, the installation of a BLOT blower. It's one that we had a lot of questions on. And if you do have questions, you can always feel free to call us at fireplaceblowersonline.com, 262-989-4882. Until we do another video, this is Terry at fireplaceblowersonline.com, signing out. Thanks.